Welcome back to The Breakdown with me, NLW. It's a daily podcast on macro, Bitcoin, and the big picture power shifts remaking our world. What's going on, guys? It is Sunday, October 27th, and that means it's time for Long Read Sunday. Before we get into that, however, if you're enjoying The Breakdown, please go subscribe to it, give it a rating, give it a review, or if you want to dive deeper into the conversation, come join us on the Breakers Discord. You can find a link in the show notes or go to bit.ly/breakdownpod. All right, friends, back with another Long Read Sunday, and today we have a fun one from Jesse Knutson. Jesse is the head of operations at Bitfinex Securities. He's been at Blockstream before, and his piece is called Bitcoin Will Lead the Future of Capital Markets. Now, why I thought this would be a fun one to discuss today is that we've talked a lot this week around tokenized finance. We've also talked some about Bitcoin, but let's read this piece, and then we will come back and discuss it. And of course, I will be turning it over to an AI version of myself from 11 Labs to do the actual reading. Bitcoin will lead the future of capital markets. As financial institutions continue to ramp up their tokenization efforts, many, including BlackRock, have been quick to assume that Ethereum will dominate this space. However, I think that Bitcoin, with its superior security model and emerging programmability, is actually poised to become the foundation of the next generation of capital markets. While Ethereum has taken an early lead in real-world asset RWA tokenization, with the total value of RWA on Ethereum standing at $2 billion excluding stablecoins, early leads don't always last. In recent years, Bitcoin, the first and probably best-known blockchain, has seen breathtaking growth of its Layer 2 ecosystem, which is delivering the secure and scalable programmability that financial institutions need to leverage the benefits of tokenization. The Liquid Network, a Bitcoin sidechain enabling the fast, confidential settlement and issuance of digital assets, is one example. Its total value locked, TVL, currently stands at $1.7 billion, up from $400 million in 2022. With the additional functionality we're now seeing, combined with its top-grade security, Bitcoin is beginning its ascent as the ecosystem of choice for financial institutions looking to tokenize assets. In Latin America, close to $1 billion of promissory notes have been issued on the Liquid Network. Last quarter, the Blockstream mining note, a security token that raised almost $50 million over 8 tranches, executed the largest ever RWA payout, returning more than 1,200 BTC to investors. There are more high-profile issuances in the pipeline. El Salvador's government plans to issue its Volcano token on the Liquid Network, which will mark the first time sovereign debt has been tokenized anywhere in the world. Bitcoin's architecture arguably makes it the natural ecosystem for tokenizing real-world assets, even if today's on-chain activity tells a different story. This episode of The Breakdown is brought to you by ExSat Network. As regular listeners know, one of the things that I think is really exciting right now is all of the new builder energy around Bitcoin, and ExSat Network is a great example of that. ExSat Network utilizes a combined consensus mechanism of POW and POS, enabling miners to earn revenue and stakers to earn Bitcoin yield. Their state data index mirrors Bitcoin UTXO data, creating a venue for BTCFi to flourish and a platform to trade Bitcoin assets. ExSat Network partners with Matrixport, committing 5,000 to 10,000 NBTC to the network, assisting with dApp development and enhancing security. Ultimately, the goal is for ExSat Network's decentralized asset custody to enable you to earn Bitcoin yield without sacrificing security or transparency. The ExSat Network aims to unlock and scale the Bitcoin ecosystem without compromising Bitcoin ideology. Check out exsat.network or follow ExSat on Twitter at ExSatNetwork, that's ExSatNetwork, and unlock Bitcoin DeFi with ExSat. Bitcoin utilizes the unspent transaction output, UTXO model, which represents the individual units of Bitcoin available for future transactions and ensures that each piece of Bitcoin is used only once. UTXO offers enhanced protection against double spending, allows for parallel transaction processing, and improves privacy by using new addresses for each transaction. The UTXO model also simplifies transaction validation, supports advanced features like multi-signature policies without complex smart contracts, and reduces the risk of front-running. In our view, therefore, these characteristics make the UTXO model particularly well-suited for financial applications that prioritize security, scalability, and transaction integrity over complex programmability. It's unarguable today that the dominant alternative to UTXO is the account model, commonly controlled by Ethereum smart contracts. But it is also true that the complexity of smart contracts can increase the potential for coding errors and vulnerabilities. Whilst rare, such errors can lead to security breaches, fund losses, or unintended behavior in tokenized securities. Bitcoin is also commonly viewed as a commodity, giving it a much higher degree of regulatory clarity compared to other tokenization ecosystems, which have yet to receive any formal classification. This makes Bitcoin a cleaner and safer choice for real-world asset tokenization. With sidechains such as Liquid Network, Bitcoin balances the need for network security with the programmability and privacy functions required for asset tokenization. The recent growth of Bitcoin as a tokenization ecosystem means that more people are taking notice. After all, Bitcoin is not just a store of value, it's a network that can power the future of our digital capital markets. All right, back to NLW here, the real one. Hold aside for our purposes right now the question of Bitcoin versus other crypto assets. This is obviously part of a conversation that has emerged over the last couple years around how Bitcoin has a role to play beyond just being a great savings technology. One of the things that makes this interesting now is that obviously Bitcoin is working its way much deeper into the financial system. In fact, I think you could argue that so far, the most significant parts of this cycle are obviously the Bitcoin ETF, and perhaps you could also include stablecoin acceptance around the world, the bridge acquisition by Stripe, etc. Regardless of that, though, it's very clear that Bitcoin is taking a new place in the global economy, and it is completely inevitable that people are going to look for new ways to use Bitcoin. Bitcoin really has a ton of very big fans when it comes to the world of traditional finance, and so some amount of this experimentation is both inevitable and I think pretty exciting. Anyways, great one from Jesse today. Appreciate his authorship, and of course, appreciate you guys listening as always. Until next time, be safe and take care of each other. Peace.